going on, guys? We're back here with another video today, and today, really quick, I just want to start off by saying that this is a live commentary. It's going to be a little different than what I normally do, and this topic overall is pretty different than most, I guess. I don't know, sometimes I just like doing these random ass topics. They're just kind of fun to do, and since this is like something that I'm kind of involved in on both sides of it, I just kind of want to give my perspective of it. And as you guys can see from the title, it's going to be Xbox versus PC, and I guess I'll say which one I like best. But anyways, before we get started on this, I'm just going to kind of give a little backstory of my gaming career, if you want to call it that. So the first time I ever played video games was it was on a console. I think I started back with like the PS1. My brother is the one that got me into video games. He used to be like me. He used to play them, and I mean that's what he liked doing. I like playing video games, so I guess I kind of grabbed it from him a little bit. But yeah, I started with the PS1, and then I just kind of built my way up. I got like the GameCube, then I got the PS2, the Wii, so on and so forth. I moved on to I also had an original Xbox as well. Just so you guys know, this is going to be recorded on the Xbox One. And no, that's not. It's just a coincidence. I just felt like doing Battlefield 1 as the gameplay, so doesn't justify my opinion on this, just so you guys know. But yeah, I ended up picking up like an original Xbox. So I kind of had both systems, both brands of systems, the competitors in the console community. For the longest time, I had, like I said, the PS2, the original Xbox, then I picked up an Xbox 360, and then I picked up a PS3 after that, and then, after I had those two for a little bit, that's when I decided that I was going to play PC, and that's basically where I got my PC career started. It sounds really stupid, but my first technical PC game was The Sims. I don't know why, I just kind of found that game kind of fun back in the day. I can't really play it anymore because I just don't have the patience for that, and it's kind of stupid now in my opinion. I guess it's just something to play when you're younger. But yeah, so that was my first one. I actually played that back in, when I was like 4th or 5th grade, so it was quite a while ago. Like I said, I started playing PC after the 360. I bought the 360 when it first came out. So yeah, that was my first PC game, and then my first Steam game was Team Fortress 2, which I purchased up in 6th grade. So I have quite the experience with both systems. Probably not going to do very good, by the way, in this game, just because I'm trying to focus on talking as well as play. But yeah, so my first Steam game was Team Fortress 2, and then I just kind of carried on from there. I think my next one was like Gary's Mod, and then I had like Alien Breach, shit like that, free games here and there. And so obviously I'd been a console goer for a long time. I played it on my old PC when I first started playing PC, honestly up until last year. I played on my PC that I had for, this year. It's been about 6 years. It's pretty old. The video card in there is I believe it's a 250. It's ginormous. The thing's like the size of a 1080, to be honest. Like it's a pretty big card. I don't know. I wouldn't say it may not be as big as the 1080, but it's a beast of a card, man, for how old it is. And that thing ran games pretty good, honestly. I ended up buying a pre-build, or getting a pre-build last year for my new PC, which I know I shouldn't have done, but I just wasn't really, like, I guess, in the mood to go and build a PC. I know how to do it now and whatnot, but I was just like, I'll just go with the custom build, and oops. But yeah, I just went with the custom build, and I ended up, the GPU in there was trash, man. It was honestly worse than my 250 that I had, and with how stupid that is, it's honestly true. Like, the 250 ran CSGO better, to be honest. Like, I actually got some lag with the 250 or the 750 that I got in this one, or not in my current PC, I should say. And then last year I upgraded to the 960. So on both sides of the spectrum, I've gotten pretty into both. I know my stuff for the most part, and honestly, I've just kind of been a neutral person with both. I've played both. I've switched on and off. I've gone months at a time playing PC. I've gone months at a time playing Xbox. And just so you guys know, I am fully Xbox. I don't like PlayStation whatsoever, even though that was my first system. I just, with the current generation and, multiplayer and Xbox Live, PlayStation Network and stuff like that, I just prefer the Xbox a lot better. A lot of people say the PlayStation is more geared towards gaming. I don't really care. To be honest, it doesn't really justify whether or not a system is good or not. I mean, it kind of has to do with it, but to be honest, in my opinion, that doesn't really say a whole lot, if that makes sense. I don't know, I just like the Xbox better for a good amount of reasons, which I guess I'll just say quickly, since it kind of has to do with everything. I like the controller and the kind of, I just like the operating system too better. I just don't like the PlayStation operating system. I feel like they don't really change it that often. But yeah, overall, I just like Xbox better. Man, I could not see that guy. I saw him for like barely at the end, but overall, I'm just gonna kind of state why I like one side over the other, I guess. Obviously, with console, you just pick up a console for $250, $300. You plug it in and play it. This video is gonna be in 30 FPS just because I don't have the Elgato 60. So unfortunately, I don't really want to play in 720. I feel like it'd just be better just to play in 1080, better quality, but I guess a little bit choppier frame rate, which I'll get into later. Obviously, that has to do with the whole controversy. But yeah, with console, you just buy it, you plug it in, play it, you buy games for it. All games work on it. There's no, oh, I can't run this game because my computer can't handle it type of deal. And that's really what I like about console quite a bit more. There's just not so many worries, and honestly, there's just not really a need to constantly upgrade your console. Like, they kind of make it up to par with every game, and like nowadays with the current gen consoles, it's all 60 FPS for the most part. Battlefield right now, I'm playing in 60 FPS. That's what it is. It's such a smooth frame rate. It honestly feels no different than when I played it on PC. Now, Overwatch, for example, the gameplay is in 60 FPS, but the main menu and stuff like that, the main menu, opening loot boxes, stuff like that, menu stuff is all 30 FPS, which, coming from a PC, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's not the biggest deal. Oh my god, my aim was horrible right there. It's so difficult for me to focus at the same time. But yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff like that irritates me a little bit. Like, I feel like systems should be to the point, especially consoles, they should be to the point now where they should be able to run 60 FPS all around. The Xbox Scorpio is coming out, and that should be an all-around 60 FPS system, which is, I like that a lot. I might actually consider getting that. But other than mostly the plug and play and just universal compatibility, there's nothing really I like exactly too much more. There's little things here and there. Controller, I like playing controller when possible. I guess it really just depends on the game. At first, Overwatch, I liked on keyboard and mouse. I'm starting to get used to it on controller now because I have it for both. So I guess in that aspect of things, I guess it just comes to preference with games. Obviously with PC nowadays, most games have some form of controller compatibility. Not all, but some. And I like that because I do like playing controller still sometimes, even on PC. But that's mainly it for the Xbox. Just the easy plug and play. No, there's no, oh, I have to, upgrade this and that all the time because it just can't keep up with it. Obviously, you're not going to get the fullest out of a game, but what a console can provide is honestly good enough. I mean, sometimes people are just kind of ridiculous for what they look for. But I'm just going to go ahead and hop over to PC now and kind of state my whole thing with PC. Now, with PC, unlike the Xbox or the PlayStation, you can have the highest frame rate. In my opinion, I notice a difference between 120 and 60 FPS. I believe that 120 just looks even more smoother than 60. Some people claim you can't, other people claim you can. I personally can tell a difference. So one thing I do like about PC is the quality and frame rate you can get on it. If you have a pretty decent computer, you can get a pretty decent frame rate, which is mainly important to me because some games you need to have a good frame rate for it to be playable. Like H1Z1, back when I used to get 30 FPS, dude, I was trash at that game. That game is just not playable in 30 FPS. But you know, it is kind of broken right now, so we won't talk about that. But I enjoy having as much frames as possible. Obviously, lately I've been, well, not obviously, but lately when I do play PC, I do limit my frames though, because I don't want my machine running really high for no reason. I figure, you know, if I can get, you know, 100 frames and keep my computer down a little bit, it's good enough for me. So alongside of that, I also like how customizable you can get with it, and obviously a computer, you can hook up a dual monitor, you can multitask more, you know, you have the access of a computer when you play games, and that's a pretty nice feature to have. You know, when you're on console, you're stuck with whatever you're on, you know, so I like having that availability to play games and do whatever else on the computer. That's nice. But the one thing that I don't like about PC as much is how you have to keep up with it. You have to, there's a lot of compatibility things you have to focus on. With each games that are, more games that are coming out, the more you need to focus on, you know, what's your computer running like, what you need to run the game. Everybody wants to play high res 1080p and get 60 plus frames. I mean, with a PC, it's not easy to do, and you have to invest a lot of money into it. A lot of people do say that with PC it does last longer. Yes, that is the case, but at the same time, that's not always the case. Honestly, I've never had a gaming console just flat out die on me. I mean, the 360 got red ring once for me. It was just the heating problem, and it was how I was having the system rest on my desk. It wasn't getting enough airflow, which is completely my problem. The one thing with PC is, yes, it is customizable, but the more customization you have, the more customization you need to make to keep up with everything. And that's mainly the issue that I have with PC. It's more and more money all the time. Sure, you get higher res, sure, you get higher frame rates. It's just a humongous investment at the end of the day. I mean, this Xbox, I got it when it first came out. I think it was $500, and I think that was mostly because, well, one, honestly, PlayStation got more sales, but obviously that was because it was cheaper. That, you know, it's common sense. Anybody can say what they want, but it's quite obvious that it made higher sales because it was cheaper. But to me, I was paying more for a quality system, and as I was saying before, you know, I haven't had to keep up with this thing at all. I mean, all the games I've been playing 60 FPS pretty much entirely for about $300. So, and that's good enough for me. I mean, oh, that was a nice triple feed right there. And that's, you know, that's good enough for me. I just, that's the one thing that I do like about console a lot. I mean, it's the term you get what you pay for doesn't exactly apply in this situation, because you pay like $250, $300 and you get a good system. I mean, by no means is console you know, terrible. Like I said, both sides of the spectrum, you have pros and cons. That's with everything. But at the end of the day, it's really just your budget, how much you want to get into it, and you know, I guess you do get what you pay for, and you don't at the same time. I mean, it just really depends on how into it you are and how much money you want to invest. It's obviously a very controversial topic, and I don't know, I just felt like kind of putting my input into it. So anyways, that's going to be about it. You're probably looking for which one I like better. To be honest, I'm going to say I don't really like more one or the other. There's just so many pros and cons to one another that just kind of even out, like, which one's better than the other. It kind of makes it, in my opinion, not really I can't really answer that question, like, because I like both for certain things. I like neither for, you know, I like both for certain things. I dislike both for certain things, and at the end of the day, I just don't really have 100% opinion on, you know, which one I feel is better, because there's so many things that counter one another when when an argument strikes about in the conversation. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It's going to be a little bit long. I see that I'm running on almost 15 minutes here. If you guys like me doing these random topics, just let me know. I like just doing it just because it's easy to do, and you know, it's something to get out there. I don't know if it's how well it's gonna do, but you know, I just thought I'd kind of state it, and just because, you know, it's a topic and I do this for fun, so I just figured I'd just put it out there, and it is what it is. So anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, drop a like. If you do enjoy my content, be sure you subscribe to see all my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.